Many black women out there are juggling multiple responsibilities in their personal and professional lives. We all know that. But there's a burden that comes with being a boss. According to new reports, many are suffering from a mental health syndrome called Superwoman schema. According to the National Institutes of Health, it's the perceived obligation to quell emotion, convey strength, suppress dependence, vulnerability, and to prioritize caregiving over self-care. Joining us to talk about it, publicist Latoya Lemon and therapist Dr. Christine Belliard. Glad to have you here both on The Factor Uncensored.
Thank you.
Latoya, do you ever feel the pressure of the world? Because number one, you also work with celebrities.
Right.
That's extra as a publicist.
Yes.
And then you have to deal with family and life in general. When does it become too much for you as a black woman?
You know, I think more times than I probably express, because I'm so used to just, okay, on to the next thing, right? And so as you mentioned, working with celebrities, there's times where I'm the publicist, the therapist, the babysitter, the all-in-one. And so oftentimes people aren't necessarily thinking about, how is Latoya? It's more so, whatever my need is, I know Latoya can fix it. But if I fixed 50 things in one day, from family to clients to whatever the situation is, nobody may recognize that, maybe something could be broken within her. But I just learned to, again, just keep myself going. And so unfortunately, the Superwoman thing is not something that I embrace from a title perspective, but I think I picked the qualifications, unfortunately. So,
has it ever hit you where you're like, I just need this moment to myself, quietness, or let's just let it out and cry?
Absolutely. So I did the funeral services for George Floyd several years ago, and I remember after the services, I took like 4 days. And I just had both of my phones on Do Not Disturb. I didn't want to go, I just needed the peace and quiet. And then it also made me realize, as I'm enduring so much for others, I need to make sure that I'm being expressive in the right way. And so there are times where I, take several months and I say, okay, for 90 days I'm doing therapy every week, just so I can have an outlet. Because obviously I'm in a industry where, I can't tell everybody business. I can't tell hardly anybody's any business, but I've learned not to hold it in.
And Dr. Belliard, for those who don't know what to do, who don't have any outlets, don't know how to address it, what would you tell those black women out there to do?
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is most of my caseload. I have very high-functioning African-American women who come in saying, I did everything on the checklist. I did the right schools, right career, right neighborhood, but I am not satisfied. Something is going on. This is too much for me to carry. And so a lot of the work really is, not that you have to go to therapy, but finding a safe space. If you have to be hyper vigilant, where I have to take care of this at work, at home, then that means you can't be vulnerable. If you're in a state of hypervigilance, you really are in a traumatic response, right? So it's important to find a safe, I don't want to say safe, a trustworthy space. It may not be a perfect space, but a place where you can really be honest and open. Just as you're saying, I need, even if it's therapy, if it's a really good girlfriend, you cannot hold that in, because if you do it, we're like pressure cookers. If you hold that in, put on that top and turn up that heat, it's going to come out in one way or another. And so this is really critical, because I want to add in this. This is actually a residual effect of slavery, where a lot of what...
And I was just about to ask you, is it only black women? But you're saying there are ties to slavery. There's much more
there
pressure.
There is much more. We have a unique experience where for generations, our ability to be worth anything was based on what we could produce, even literally who we could produce.
From children to cotton picking?
Yes. And so all the narratives around, okay, you better be twice as good, you better go ahead and make sure you can do everything right, then you really are. You can understand this Superwoman syndrome. We don't have the ability just to, okay, look, maybe I'll just have to do it.
You have to be strong.
You have to.
And that's the sad thing. I think for black women, you hear this sense, strong black woman. I have never heard strong other woman. And I think that puts us...
And you have to live up to that.
You have to live up to it. And the thing about being strong is, who's checking on the strong one? And so if this entire, you know, circle of black women are forced to be strong, because there's days we don't want to. There's days I would rather sit and cry, but I know if I show a sign of weakness, then things may start to crumble for me.
And really quick, as we end, what would you tell your community around you when it comes to checking on you? What should you suggest they do?
So I have a big thing. A lot of times people talk at me and they may text me what they want. These days I'm not responding if you're not at least saying good morning, how are you? So learn to check on people, because a lot of people are going through silent battles.
All right, we want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor. Very important issue. Thank you, guys.